In a world where women are constantly judged by their appearance, income, relationships, popularity, or the amount of attention they receive, it is easy to forget where true worth actually comes from. Your value is not created by the outside world. It comes from within you, from your relationship with God, the strength of your character, the way you carry yourself, and the light you keep alive in your heart. A high-value woman is not someone waiting for other people to tell her that she matters. She already knows it. She understands her worth and has the courage to live according to it. And that kind of value has nothing to do with impressing society or gaining approval on social media. It is about becoming the woman your soul was meant to become and living in alignment with what God has placed inside you. Because once you truly understand your worth, other people's opinions lose the power to make you feel insignificant. Being a high-value woman is not about having perfect beauty, financial success, social status, or endless attention. It is about dignity, self-respect, compassion, integrity, wisdom, and faith. These are the qualities that make a woman genuinely priceless, especially in her own eyes. One of the strongest foundations of a woman's value is self-respect. A woman who respects herself carries a quiet confidence that does not need to prove anything. Self-respect is not arrogance or thinking you are better than everyone else. It is simply knowing who you are, understanding what you stand for, and recognizing what you should never accept. People may try to measure you by your appearance, possessions, achievements, or popularity, but none of those things determine your true worth. Your value is revealed by how you treat yourself when nobody is watching, by the standards you maintain, and by the boundaries you create to protect your peace. Think about a banknote. It can become dirty, folded, damaged, or stepped on, yet its original value remains unchanged. A woman with genuine self-respect understands the same principle. Life may hurt her, people may criticize her, someone may betray her or attempt to destroy her confidence, but none of those experiences reduce her worth. What happened to her does not determine who she is. A high-value woman does not chase people for love, validation, attention, or acceptance. She does not abandon her standards simply because she is afraid of losing someone. She understands that constantly accepting disrespect only teaches people that disrespect is acceptable. Instead, she demonstrates through her actions how she expects to be treated. Imagine your life as a beautiful home. If you leave the doors unlocked and allow everyone to enter whenever they want, some people will come in, create chaos, take what they want, and leave without caring about the damage. But when you protect your home and become intentional about who receives access, your peace remains protected. Your heart is the same. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your thoughts, emotions, time, or energy. Consider a woman who remains in a relationship where she is repeatedly ignored, dismissed, and disrespected. Her feelings are treated as unimportant, her opinions are constantly rejected, and her dreams are never taken seriously. If she remains silent simply because she hopes the other person will eventually change, she is abandoning herself. But when she finally says, "This treatment is not acceptable to me. I deserve respect. I deserve to be heard," she begins honoring her own worth. She might lose the relationship, but she does not lose herself. And sometimes protecting yourself is more important than holding on to something that keeps destroying your peace. Self-respect also means learning how to say no without drowning in guilt. Many women say yes to everything because they are afraid of disappointing people. But every time you refuse something that constantly drains you, distracts you, or pulls you away from your purpose, you are choosing your peace instead. The same principle applies at work. Imagine constantly receiving additional responsibilities while everyone expects you to keep saying yes. Eventually, exhaustion takes over and the quality of your work suffers. A woman who respects herself can calmly say, "I want to give my best, but I can only take on this much without compromising the quality of my work." That is not disrespect, that is healthy self-awareness. And self-respect begins with the way you speak to yourself. Sometimes the harshest voice in our lives is our own. A high-value woman does not constantly criticize her reflection, call herself worthless, or remind herself of every mistake she has ever made. She learns to speak to herself with compassion. She recognizes her strengths, accepts her imperfections, and remembers that she has qualities no one else possesses. When you begin respecting yourself internally, something changes externally. Your posture changes, your decisions change, your relationships change. The way you respond to disrespect changes. People begin to sense that you are no longer willing to abandon yourself just to keep them comfortable. And perhaps the deepest form of self-respect comes from understanding that your existence has purpose. You were not created without meaning. Your life is not an accident. God created you with intention, gave you unique qualities, and placed value within you that no human being has the authority to remove. So when you begin questioning whether you are enough, remember where your worth truly comes from. You do not need everyone to approve of you. You do not need to be admired by everyone. You need to remember who you are and whose creation you are. Walk with dignity. Speak with confidence. Protect your peace. Let your crown remain invisible, but let your character make it impossible to overlook. Temporary rejection, criticism, failure, or disappointment cannot define you. And if self-respect is the crown of a high-value woman, her deepest strength comes from her relationship with God. Spiritual connection gives her an inner stability that the outside world cannot easily destroy. When life becomes uncertain, she has something deeper than circumstances to hold on to. She still experiences pain. She still faces heartbreak, betrayal, failure, and disappointment. But she does not allow those moments to completely destroy her. Her confidence does not depend on everything going perfectly. It comes from knowing that God is still present, still guiding her, and still working through every chapter of her life. She may bend when the storm becomes heavy, but she does not allow herself to be broken by it. She may stumble, but she gets back up. Because her strength does not come from a world that constantly changes. It comes from a God she believes remains constant. When the world rejects her, she remembers that God has not abandoned her. When people misunderstand her, she trusts that God knows what is inside her heart. And when others fail to recognize her value, she remembers that her worth came from the Creator, not from human approval. No person has the power to take that away. Imagine a young woman constantly trying to live according to everyone else's expectations. Her career, her appearance, her relationships, even the timing of her marriage become subjects of other people's opinions. She spends so much energy trying to make everyone happy that she slowly loses touch with herself. Then one day, she stops. She puts the noise aside and sits quietly with God, perhaps through prayer, reflection, or peaceful meditation. In that silence, something changes. Her mind becomes clearer, her heart becomes lighter. She realizes she was never required to prove her worth to the entire world. Her responsibility is simply to remain faithful to the values and purpose God has placed within her. That one moment of spiritual connection can give her more strength than hundreds of compliments ever could. A woman who stays connected to God understands that she is never completely alone. When she is by herself, she can still feel supported. When she is hurting, she can still find comfort. When she doesn't know which direction to take, her faith can help guide her. Her relationship with God becomes an inner compass, helping her make wiser decisions, develop patience, and remain grounded when life becomes uncertain. Think of a tree during a powerful storm. The wind may bend its branches, and the rain may beat against it, but the tree remains standing because its roots reach deep into the ground. A spiritually grounded woman is much the same. Difficult seasons may shake her, but they do not easily destroy her because her foundation is deeper than her circumstances. While others may become overwhelmed by fear, she can remain calm because she believes something greater is holding her steady. Imagine a woman working hard but constantly being overlooked. Her efforts are criticized, her achievements are ignored, and she begins wondering whether she is good enough. Instead of allowing resentment to consume her, she chooses faith. She reminds herself, "What is truly meant for me cannot pass me by." She continues doing her work honestly and patiently, without allowing bitterness to poison her heart. Eventually, her consistency speaks for itself. People begin noticing her character, her discipline, and the calm way she handles pressure. Recognition may come later than she expected, but when it does, she receives it without becoming arrogant, because she knows her value existed long before anyone acknowledged it. Spiritual connection also gives a woman the courage to release what is no longer healthy for her. Sometimes we hold on to unhealthy relationships, destructive habits, or stressful situations simply because we are terrified of what life will look like without them. But a woman who trusts God understands that not every ending is a punishment. Some endings are protection. Some closed doors are redirection. She does not have to understand every ending immediately. She trusts that God can create a new beginning from something that once felt like a loss. And when she feels secure in God's love, she no longer needs to compete with other women. She does not constantly compare her life with someone else's. She does not become bitter when another woman succeeds. Instead, she celebrates others, encourages them, and helps them rise because she knows someone else's blessing does not reduce her own. Her spiritual strength changes the atmosphere around her. People feel comfortable with her because she does not constantly judge, compete, or criticize. Her presence brings peace. Her words bring encouragement. Her character inspires people without demanding attention. But being spiritually connected does not mean becoming immune to problems. Difficulties will still appear. Disappointments will still hurt. There will still be seasons when you question everything. The difference is in how you respond. Instead of allowing pressure to destroy her, she turns toward prayer. Instead of giving up, she strengthens her faith. Instead of allowing pain to make her bitter, she allows it to make her wiser. So think about how you begin your mornings. Is the first thing you reach for your phone, comparing yourself to strangers and worrying about what everyone else is doing? Or do you give yourself a few quiet moments to pray, breathe, reflect, and remember that your life is guided by something greater than public opinion? A woman who begins her day connected to God carries a different kind of peace into the rest of her day. She becomes like a river, calm, steady, nourishing, and persistent. The world may become chaotic around her, but she does not have to become chaotic within herself. Beauty changes, circumstances change, money can disappear, status can rise and fall. People can enter your life and leave it, but your relationship with God can remain your deepest source of strength. That connection is a treasure no external possession can replace. When you remain rooted in it, criticism cannot completely destroy you. Misunderstanding cannot define you. Rejection cannot erase your worth. Deep inside, you know that your value comes from the divine. Your light is not dependent on someone's approval, and your path does not have to look like anyone else's. Stay close to your faith. Be grateful when life is beautiful. Remain patient when life hurts. Trust God when you cannot see the next step. The deeper your spiritual connection becomes, the more grounded, courageous, and powerful you become. Another defining quality of a high-value woman is emotional stability. In a world where people react instantly, lose their temper quickly, and allow small problems to ruin their entire day, she learns how to remain calm in the middle of chaos. That does not mean she has no emotions. In fact, she may feel things very deeply. The difference is that she does not hand control of her life over to every emotion she experiences. She learns to understand what she feels, process it, and then choose her response wisely. Emotional strength is not becoming cold or pretending nothing hurts. Real strength is having the courage to feel your emotions without allowing them to destroy your judgment. A high-value woman understands that a temporary emotional reaction can create a permanent consequence. Anger, jealousy, fear, and frustration are normal human experiences, but they do not have to become the drivers of her decisions. She pauses before responding. She thinks before speaking. She gives herself enough space to see clearly. Think about a glass filled with water. Shake it aggressively, and everything becomes disturbed. Leave it alone for a while, and the water settles and becomes clear again. Your mind can work the same way. When every comment, rejection, or disappointment immediately shakes you, it becomes difficult to think clearly. But when you learn to become still inside, clarity returns. Imagine dealing with a difficult workplace. People gossip. A manager criticizes you unfairly. Deadlines keep piling up. Instead of reacting emotionally to every situation, an emotionally mature woman stays focused. She learns from useful criticism, ignores meaningless gossip, manages her responsibilities carefully, and refuses to let workplace drama consume her peace. People eventually notice that kind of strength. They respect her not only because she performs well, but because she remains composed when everyone else is losing control. The same principle applies to relationships. An emotionally unstable woman may constantly need reassurance, become consumed by fear, or turn every disagreement into a major conflict. But a high-value woman communicates directly. She listens instead of immediately attacking. She expresses her feelings without losing control. And when someone repeatedly disrespects her, she knows when to step away rather than desperately holding on. Her emotional stability makes people feel safe around her because they know she will not turn every difficult moment into chaos. And remember, emotional stability does not mean you never cry. Tears are not weakness. Feeling pain is not weakness. You are human and you are allowed to hurt. The difference is that you refuse to build a permanent home inside temporary pain. You allow yourself to grieve, then you begin healing. You acknowledge what happened, learn from it, and continue moving forward. Life will test everyone, There will be rejection, heartbreak, uncertainty, failure, and loss. Emotional strength does not prevent these experiences. It prevents them from completely destroying your identity. Imagine your heart being broken by someone you deeply loved. You may cry, you may feel lost, you may have moments when you wonder why it happened. But eventually, you remind yourself, this hurts, but it is not the end of my life. God still has a purpose for me. That perspective transforms suffering. Pain becomes wisdom, tears become healing, heartbreak becomes an opportunity to discover a stronger version of yourself. The greatest gift of emotional stability is freedom. You become less controlled by circumstances, less vulnerable to manipulation, and less trapped by your own reactions. When you learn to manage your emotions instead of allowing them to manage you, you begin taking control of your life. The world can push you, people can disappoint you, circumstances can shake you, but you learn to remain grounded like a mountain. And when a woman develops that kind of emotional stability, she becomes more than strong for herself. She becomes a source of strength for the people around her. Her calm presence becomes a light in places where others only see chaos. Her children learn what strength looks like by watching how calmly she handles difficult moments. Her friends trust her judgment because she does not let emotions cloud her thinking. Her colleagues respect her because they know she can remain composed under pressure. Without demanding attention, she becomes someone others naturally turn to. Not because she is the loudest person in the room, but because she has learned how to remain steady when everything around her feels unstable. Think about a candle burning in a dark room. When a weak flame meets a strong wind, it disappears almost immediately, but a steady flame continues to shine. The emotional stability of a high-value woman works in the same way. Even when life around her becomes dark and unpredictable, she protects the light within herself, and that light can help other people find their way too. So, my sisters, practice becoming emotionally grounded. When anger rises inside you, don't immediately speak or act. Give yourself a moment. When fear appears, remind yourself that emotions are temporary and this feeling will eventually pass. When sadness arrives, allow yourself to experience it, but don't allow it to become your identity. Whenever life challenges you, ask yourself, what would a wise response look like here? Rather than, how can I react to what just happened? The more you practice this, the stronger you become. Your emotional strength develops slowly, just like steel being forged through pressure. Eventually, situations that once controlled you will no longer have the same power over you. Remember, storms are part of life. They will come whether you are prepared for them or not. But emotional strength teaches you how to keep moving, even while the rain is falling. Difficult seasons may surround you, but emotional stability allows you to remain standing in the middle of them. That is one of the most beautiful qualities of a high-value woman. Her emotions are real, but they do not control her choices. She learns to lead herself first. And a woman who can lead herself becomes incredibly difficult for the world to shake. A high-value woman also refuses to live her entire life according to other people's expectations. She does not simply follow society's checklist because everyone else is doing it. She understands that her existence has meaning. Her life was not created by accident, and the journey she is on is not meaningless. She believes God has placed abilities, desires, ideas, and dreams inside her for a reason. Her responsibility is not to bury those gifts, but to develop them and use them with honesty and courage. Too many women grow up hearing that they should sacrifice everything about themselves for everyone else. They are encouraged to become smaller, quieter, and easier to please. They learn to ignore their own dreams because they are afraid of being judged or called selfish. But a high-value woman understands that her dreams matter too. That desire inside her heart is not necessarily something she needs to silence. Sometimes it is a direction, sometimes it is a calling, sometimes it is the very thing that will lead her toward a more meaningful life. She does not allow fear, criticism, or other people's expectations to automatically extinguish that inner fire. Think about a candle. Its purpose is to give light. If it hides its flame because it is afraid of the darkness, it is never able to fulfill what it was created to do. A woman can do the same thing when she hides her abilities because she fears criticism. The world may never see the contribution she could have made. Living with purpose is not selfish. In many ways, it is a form of service. When you use your gifts, you don't only improve your own life. You can encourage someone else, teach someone something valuable, create something meaningful, or make another person's life a little better. Consider a woman who has loved painting since she was a child. As she grows older, people around her tell her that art is impractical. They tell her to choose something safer, something that makes more money, and to forget about the dream. For years, she listens to them and puts her brushes away. She does everything expected of her, yet something inside her feels empty. Eventually, she decides to give herself permission to create again. She begins painting slowly. Then people discover her work. Her paintings begin touching emotions, telling stories, and bringing beauty into people's lives. Perhaps she even turns her passion into a career. What changed? She stopped ignoring the gift she had been carrying all along. That is what purpose can look like. It does not always mean becoming famous or accomplishing something enormous. Purpose can be found in ordinary acts of love and contribution. It can be raising children with patience, helping someone through a difficult season, teaching others, serving your community, writing something that gives another person hope, or preparing a meal that brings your family together. Your gift does not have to look impressive to everyone else to be meaningful. If it brings goodness into the world, it has value. A high-value woman understands that passion creates a different kind of energy. When you genuinely care about what you are doing, people can hear it in your voice and see it in the way you work. Passion gives you energy when circumstances become difficult. It gives you a reason to keep going when the easy option would be to quit. Without purpose, even an easy life can feel empty. With purpose, even difficult work can feel worthwhile. Imagine two women working in the same environment. One is there only for the paycheck. She spends the entire day watching the clock, waiting for the moment she can leave, and returns home feeling completely drained. The other may not have a perfect job either, but she finds meaning in what she does. She looks for opportunities to improve, help others, learn new skills, and make a genuine contribution. She may still feel tired at the end of the day, but there is fulfillment behind that tiredness. Which woman is more likely to inspire others? Which one is more likely to leave a meaningful impact? Usually, it is the woman who brings purpose and passion into what she does. Purpose also gives you direction when life becomes confusing. Many women feel lost because they are following a path designed by someone else. Society tells you when you should get married. It tells you when you should have children, what you should look like, how much money you should make, and what your life should supposedly look like by a certain age. But your life is not a race against someone else's timeline. You were not created to copy another woman's journey. You were created to discover your own path, develop your own gifts, and live according to the purpose God has placed within you.